women do fairly badly as compared to the men when they undergo angioplasty. When you compare the men versus the women had a higher incidence of non-ST elevation myocardial infarction. Men had more ST elevation myocardial infarction. What was very important, the average age of the females was 5 years older than the males. Why women have unfavorable outcomes after PCI? First of all, it's very important, they have got atypical presentation, so therefore most of the time the diagnosis is missed. There's a delay in reporting to the physician or hospital because the symptoms are very atypical. There's a delay in diagnosis. Then less number of females receive evidence-based therapies. Especially it has been reported that many of them don't even receive ticagrelor, which is considered as the class 1 indication drug. It appears the females receive a very raw deal when it comes to an acute myocardial infarction. Just to take you back a little bit in the history before the angioplasty became very popular, I must say that somewhere in 70s, there used to be papers there that the size of the coronary arteries in the females is smaller than those of the males. As a matter of fact, a paper was there from the Cleveland Clinic in which it was shown that the females had a higher mortality from the coronary artery bypass graft surgery than the males, and it was attributed to the size of the coronary arteries. But I think as the time has gone on, now the angioplasty is there in the treatment modalities of the coronary arteries. I think things have totally changed. So therefore, people always still keep on saying that the PCI in women are the outcomes different as compared to those from the men. And we all know that men are supposed to be coming from the Mars, the women are from the Venus. Venus, as you know, has got a temperature of 464 degrees centigrade, and Mars has the temperature of minus 60 degrees centigrade. So totally different. So therefore, are the kind of outcomes which are related to the PCI, are they different because their bodies, the body's composition, the hormones, the size of the coronary arteries, is it different? And that's why the results are different. And therefore, actually, is there a difference in the outcomes between the males and the females? Now, therefore, I will start with a case. You have here a 62 years male who has got a chest pain of 2 hours duration and has been brought to our EMS. You can see a hyperacute anterior wall myocardial infarction within 2 hours. We'll talk about it little later when we look at the data that is available. As opposed to this, you see a 69 years female who has a chest pain and sweating she was getting at home, and nobody bothered about it. And ultimately she felt low, easy fatigue, pulse was 110 per minute when she was seen by the family physician. Blood pressure was narrow pulse pressure, and he found that there were Krebs H3 gallop, and he brought her to the EMS. And now you can see by this time a very well developed anterior wall myocardial infarction. This is actually the basis of my complete talk. Now, if you see the literature, outcomes after the PCI in women, are they different? There are several studies done, and though most of the studies show that the outcomes are different, women do fairly badly as compared to the men when they undergo angioplasty. But however, there's still a debate whether these outcomes are related to the actual artery size or the artery composition, or is it because of the comorbidities or co-founders that are there in the coronary arteries of the women. Now we'll go to one of the largest study of more than 6.5 million patients, which is a multi-center, multinational trial, in which 66% men and 33% men who had undergone angioplasty with a stenting between 2004 and 2014. As a matter of fact, if you see any laboratory, any data, any any trial, you will find it's about 1/3 of the females who have undergone PCI as opposed to the men who consist of about 2/3 of the patients who undergo the angioplasty. Now what they found that in this data, when you compare the men versus the women had a higher incidence of non-ST elevation myocardial infarction. Men had more ST elevation myocardial infarction. What was very important, the average age of the females was 5 years older than the males. Here the median age was 68 years, here the median age was 63 years. The women had higher comorbidity, especially the diabetes, 37% versus 30% in the men, hypertension 73% versus 68%, and heart failure was more often seen in the females who came for the PCI, and they are 19% versus the 14% in the males. And the same trial or same data showed that the men did better than the women. The mortality year on year was higher in the females as compared to the males. It went on for close to 5 years. The 5 years data showed that the females had a higher mortality than the male. Now, is it related to the kind of a coronary artery itself, or is it there are some co-founders, comorbidities? If you see the patients who undergo the angioplasty, especially the women, they have got higher incidence of bleeding complications. The mortality was basically related not only to the other factors, but they had a higher incidence of bleeding complications, the vascular complications. The 1-year mortality for patients who undergo bleeding, who undergo angioplasty for bleeding, is though 3.7% for both. But those who had a higher bleeding, and that as compared to those who did not, women bleeders did the worst as compared to the males. They had a much higher mortality. So therefore, I think at the moment we have got kind of a transradial approach in which the bleeding chances are less. And if you see in the matrix access trial, you find that the ladies had a higher benefit from the transradial as compared to the male. So therefore, the message from this is that if you see the patients who undergo angioplasty, females, and you want to do an angioplasty, it is better that the angioplasty is done through the transradial route. What about the patients, females who have got an acute myocardial infarction? It appears the females receive a very raw deal when it comes to an acute myocardial infarction. This is a data available from the UK, and in that you see the door to balloon time in the males, in the STEMI patients, is much less than compared to the females. The door to balloon time and also the symptom to the balloon time is also much longer in the females as compared to the males. So therefore, if you see the comparison that the males are received in the EMS much earlier than the females, and therefore perhaps they get a better results from the angioplasty as compared to the females. The total mortality, if you see patients who undergo PCI following acute myocardial infarction, is 5.7% in the males as compared to the females who have 8.4% of mortality. They also have got higher incidence of cardiogenic shock. So therefore, what way the females have been given a raw deal? It's a data which is available from the England and Wales, in which patients who came to the lab, 218,000 were women and 52,000 were females. And what you find, that what are the advantages that the male had? That the males received better treatment. If you see, here is 0. If both of them received equal treatment, the treatment is considered as 0. The difference is considered as 0. And you see here 72 hours coronary angiography in females is performed in very low number of patients. So suppose if a female is admitted with a chest pain, with acute coronary syndrome, she does not get the advantage of undergoing a coronary angiography. Leave aside an angioplasty, she doesn't undergo an angiography itself within 72 hours, as much less often as compared to the males. So therefore, coming back to our patients, if you saw our first patient who was 65 years male, anterior myocardial infarction, chest pain, he came to the lab, you see a total occlusion of the LAD, you perform an angioplasty, you put in a stent, you get an excellent result. Whereas a female who was 69 years, anterior myocardial infarction, 3 days late, and you take the patient for the cath lab, and you see there is a kind of a organized clot here, there is a complete diffuse disease here, trying to perform an angioplasty in a patient who undergoes late PAMI, we all know that the results cannot be as good as they will be doing in a patient who comes for the primary angioplasty in the first couple of hours. So therefore, to summarize why women have unfavorable outcomes after PCI, first of all, is very important, they have got atypical presentation, so therefore most of the time the diagnosis is missed. There's a delay in reporting to the physician or hospital because the symptoms are very atypical. There's a delay in diagnosis. Then less number of females receive evidence-based therapies. Especially it has been reported that many of them don't even receive ticagrelor, which is considered as the class 1 indication drug. And most of the data which is available from the trials, the women are underrepresented, and therefore it is difficult to extrapolate the results. And some of these patients, especially the females, have got a spontaneous coronary artery dissection, which Dr. Brian Pinto just now talked about it, and erroneously they are taken to the cath lab. And as you know, try to do an angioplasty in these patients, the artery keeps on dissecting, you've got a very bad outcomes, and therefore they get totally a raw deal. So therefore the take-home message would be unfavorable outcomes following PCI as compared to men. Number 2, mainly related to co-founders, age, diabetes, hypertension, late presentation. They are denied the guideline recommended therapy. Less women receive PCI on time, and especially the drug like ticagrelor on post-discharge is not recommended to many of the women. The symptoms are usually, this mistake that many physicians make and the family makes, is the symptoms are attributed to acid peptic disease, gallbladder disease, anxiety. Some of them have mitral valve prolapse, so they have been getting this pain before, so it is attributed to mitral valve prolapse. Some of them have reported again and again to the emergency room because they had a microvascular disease and they found that there are no infarction at the earliest visits. So therefore the diagnosis is totally missed, and therefore we need to modify our approach to these patients, not to neglect females, especially if they got a substernal pain. Even if they got atypical symptoms, they deserve a better workup, a better sort of investigations, and ultimately if they come for myocardial infarction, to report to the EMS in time and take them to the lab within the specific guideline recommended period, door to balloon time, perform an angioplasty, and give them on discharge a guideline recommended treatment. Thank you very much.
Insights from the world's best medical minds. You are watching therightdoctors.com.